All right, then into the world of e-commerce now. Customers of Jumia here in Kenya may benefit from reduced delivery fees following the expansion of pickup points for goods ordered on the e-commerce platform. This new strategy, though, also aims to empower local businesses by boosting their revenue and providing better services to consumers as well. Now, entrepreneurs who do sign up to serve as local pickup points can earn up to $1,000 a month. The e-commerce giant strategies to expand its countrywide pickup station network over the course of the year, with over 100 more pickup stations expected to go live every single month. So let's dig into the details of this particular strategy with Apurva Kumar. He's the Senior Vice President of the Africa-focused e-commerce group, Jumia, and he joins us now live on the program. Thank you for your time this evening. So with regards to Kenya, walk us through why the focus here is on building up pickup stations for goods. Is this more efficient perhaps than setting up a last mile logistics network in target areas, or letting consumers essentially set that up for themselves?
Yeah, look, I think pickup stations are an extremely important part of the distribution strategy, okay? We today in Africa have over about 1,300 pickup stations, okay? We're trying to solve three problems really, okay? The problem number one is addresses, okay? Like when I joined Jumia a long time back, the first thing I did was I went on delivery runs with drivers all over Lagos, okay? I was living in Lagos for 4 years, okay? And then every single day I realized one thing, that the addresses are very unorganized. Like you're on the road, house number 18 and house number 19 are not even in the same roads, okay? So it's really difficult to find the address, the last mile address in some of these cities in Africa, okay? Second thing is really convenient and locating the person at that address, at the point. Like some of the colleagues who work with me in here in the office, they prefer to pick up their packages driving back from the Shell pickup stations, because during the day they are just all over the place. They're hustling, they're going around. So it's really difficult to locate the timing, get the timing right with the person, right?
So
And the
essentially, in this
third thing
case,
is
you're also
obviously,
responding to a change in consumer behavior, because in as much
yeah,
as
yeah,
we
of
would
course.
say that, across Africa, you've got millions of smartphones all over the place. Everyone can drop a GPS pin pretty much anywhere, but that doesn't quite match up to how consumers actually do behave.
Exactly, it's a big function of your daily routine, and it has to really match up at that particular moment, okay? And if we want to really match it, it costs additional cost, which is the third point, right? Everyone wants to get their stuff delivered at low cost value. And when you combine all this with the infrastructure, with our mission to empower the local people to really get their own, small pickup station, etc., it makes a lot of sense to go in this route for us. It is making us help getting cheaper, to the customer. It is helping those solve problems of location, address, and convenience. So overall, the strategy makes sense. We're going to keep going bullish on this. We think it's working well. Our customers love it. It's empowering these pickup station owners. So it's a fantastic thing. It's a win-win thing for us.
E-commerce for a very long time, at least across Africa, tends to be dominated by these big urban areas. Lagos in Nigeria, Nairobi and Mombasa in
Yeah.
Kenya. But looking at the cities that you're trying to expand into in Kenya, these are essentially smaller urban areas, settlements that perhaps would not be considered by other players. What's the market potential that you're seeing there?
Yeah, look, it's true. Okay, traditionally, the bigger cities have always dominated, but we've seen a shift happen in last years. I mean, for example, something we follow very closely is also looking at the Chinese market. I was reading last year in 2020 that the Taobao villages contributed $200 billion to Taobao top line. That sort of gives an idea of how the shift and the potential is in some of the other markets. For us, I think, look, it's extremely relevant. Some of these customers, they don't have access to the assortment. They don't have access to really the products, and we are beginning to get there with that. So that is the number one relevance, I think, very important relevance. Okay, and then the second thing is also, which is with the access and exposure to market, to internet. I mean, they also are getting to understand, what products, what things can be done. So I think it's really the need of access, basics, from simple things like groceries and rice packs to even to very high level of functional things, like for example, I recently know one of the guys. I was talking to a customer, he been in Nigeria, very remote location, and they wanted something very specific, an industrial tool, okay? and they ordered on Jumia, and we shipped it from China. And these kind of things cannot happen in those areas. You wouldn't find them. So that's the role, that's the value proposition. We see a big shift happening there. Already 25% of our business is beginning to come from those areas, and I think it's only gonna get bigger and bigger.
The post office, this tends to come up in conversations around e-commerce logistics. The post office is an organization with enormous reach, lots of legacy infrastructure in practically every part of Kenya. When you were sitting down to craft this logistics chain plan, did you explore partnering with the post office, or why was it not part of the expansion program we're seeing now?
Of course, look, we work with all the partners we can work. Our aim is to develop more and more partnership and create more and more reach. We are working with fuel stations like Vivo, like Shell. We are working with grocery supermarkets. We're working with postal offices. In most of the countries, we work very closely with the postal authorities. In Kenya, we work with Posta. In fact, we are live with Posta pickup stations in few places in Kenya. In Egypt, I'm very often talking to Egypt Post guys, EMS in Ghana, Amana in Morocco, Senegal. We are very closely working with the postal authorities in all countries. We really believe in that partnership. It's something we've been sort of building very slowly, but very strongly over the few years. And I think it sort of combines with the whole rural strategy, the reach, the penetration, and the ability to work together. We see huge dividends on it, and we are making big progress with almost all the postal authorities in Africa now.
Is there also an element of trust as well? Because for a lot of the clients that you're reaching out to, they may not necessarily be familiar with Jumia, but the postal authorities, the post office is something they're familiar with. So if you say you're partnering with them, that sort of goes some way to bridging that trust deficit.
Of course. Of course, look, like I was telling you, right, it's really getting the location piece right, okay? So if we go for a pickup station, which is not so famous, and customers still have to find it, look for it, okay? Everybody knows where the local post office is. If you go to like a village in Kenya, everybody knows it. So that big convenience, more than the trust, just the location, the convenience, it's extremely relevant. And of course, working with postal, you understand the way it works, you're familiar with that adds huge value to your point as well.
Right. So this does seem to be relatively light on Capex, because every time I look at Jumia's results, there's an emphasis on trying to reduce freight and fulfillment costs. How much capital are we looking at investing in this? And is a payment due to your partner firms? How is that going to be set up? Is it a mix of how much space they're utilizing vis-a-vis how much goods they're delivering?
Yeah. No, look, I mean, you need to understand like who is the partner, okay? And the partner is a small shopkeeper in, let's say, Mount Kenya, okay? Already has a small shop with some recharge, with mom and pop stores, some food drinks. So they already have a little bit of infrastructure, sufficient enough. So we don't really expect them to add a lot of infrastructure to it, okay? So the model is very Capex light. It is almost like using your existing infrastructure to drive some more footfall in your in your shop, and also using sort of Jumia as an advertisement, let's say, almost. So that's really the story of the thing. Now, in terms of the business model and the economics for us, it's very Capex light. It's almost zero Capex for us. We sort of operate using technologies and processes with these guys. We train them, so it's really tech intensive, but no Capex. And to your question on the pricing model, it varies a little bit, but it's really a function of the goods dispatch. It's fully variable. Everyone makes money when the goods are dispatched. There is no fixed cost element to it.
Right. One last question for you. So looking at your results again, you've reported that there were some interesting changes that you made in your pricing model that allowed you to save at least €1 million between, I believe it was April and the end of September, on freight and fulfillment costs. And also at the same time, your rate of cancellations, failed deliveries and returns, that has gone down from about a third all the way down to 14%. Walk us through what was done to arrive at those changes, to deliver those results.
Yeah. Look, so let's try to understand, okay? There are three players in the ecosystem. There is the customer, very important. There is the partner, the 3PL partner, the driver maybe, and there is Jumia's technology and the payment and the process system, okay? Fundamentally, what we did is we aligned our cost basis to the entire model, okay? So let me explain you, okay? today, when as a customer you shop on Jumia, okay, and you say, look, I'm going to order 2 items or 3 items, okay, let's say 2 items, okay, and they're going to come to you together, okay. So as a customer, it does not make sense to you. Why would you pay shipping fees for 2 items when you've ordered together and they're coming to you together, okay? Similarly, when we talk to a 3PL partner, we go and say, look, we're giving you 2 packages, but the reality is you have to drive the same distance and go to the same customer, okay? So we don't understand why does it cost more at a package level, okay? Typically, so far, and wherever I've seen in e-commerce in India, in China, the industry operates at a package level or at a kg level, okay? What we decided to do is we aligned our customers incentive, we aligned our partners incentive, and we said we're going to operate on this move or the drive level, okay? We're going to operate on one stop level. So if you deliver to one stop, you get paid for the stop. So that's really the fundamentals of the thinking and what we did. We aligned our entire payment system around this thinking, and that basically streamlined the entire cost. It was quite clear to us how much we are spending. It was quite clear to customer what is the customer spending for, and eventually, you get this benefit and the balance, and it works like a win-win situation. So that's really the change in the strategy and the thinking so much, and then this model was put into place with talking to partners and making them on board on what are we doing, etc. So that's really the fundamental thing which drove this pricing model change.
All right, we'll leave it there
Make
for the
sense?
time being. Apurva Kumar, Senior Vice President at Jumia Group, looking forward to seeing the logistics numbers for Q4. Thank you for your time.